Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nerd Bubble Podcast for 2025. We'll keep saying it for all of January, like when you say Happy New Year, but it's 2 weeks into January. When do you stop saying it? When do you stop?
Happy New February, 1st of February.
Happy New you, the audience at home. I'm
Happy
George.
New
Red Hulk,
and I'm the Hulk.
is Connor.
Hulk, yeah.
So angry that he had to give up the moustache at the election. But when elections might come up, and I am the ghost of Colin Firth in the Bridget Jones 4 trailer.
Yes,
This is Bridget
Jones, the great niece of Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister of what fuck North. What was her?
I don't know. It's like this is your life. Tea. That's what I needed. Good cup of tea, and to stay away from John Barrowman. Pop culture news, gossip, other such stuff, reviews and things. Connor's probably seen about at least 500 movies, and it's the 21st of January.
Whoa. I wouldn't say 500. I've seen one, and that was enough. And that wasn't the profile picture I was trying to get, but that was an experience.
What were you trying to get?
That possibly later. I was going to get. You will be happy with this, George. And again, very random. There's got nothing to do with 2025 and not exactly on trend. So this won't get us fire or anything. But I went back to a certain application, which everyone uses, aka Netflix, not Paramount Plus. And I randomly browsed on a television show that you've watched, and you said, why haven't you watched such and such? I mean, or in this case, to give you a clue and the audience at home, it's a one-word show. It's a one-word title. And again, why I chose to watch this one-word show in 2025, like however many years off of the air, although it is coming back this year, which might give you a clue, is beyond me. So I was trying to get Michael C. Hall.
Dexter. Tonight's the night.
Dexter. I don't know why I chose Dexter out of all things to catch up on, like 20 years off air, but I was trying to get a good photo of Michael C. Hall, but his head's too big for the PNGs. So sorry, Mike, if you're watching this, and also Mike at home, but
yeah, Mike as Michael C. Hall.
Yes, see, that's a Photoshop we need to.
He's too kind to be a serial killer, or maybe that's what he wants us to think. We'll never know, really, will we?
Exactly. It's always the quiet one, Jay. No, you never know these days. You never know.
So you're catching up on 2006's Dexter? Is that what it? Let me look at, because I can just Google freehand because we've upgraded something.
I think it was around the HD era. I think it was one of the first things in HD. I think. I want to say 07, like gut guess, but
2006 season 1. First premiered on the 1st of October 2006 on Showtime in the United States. Wow.
Showtime.
Michael C. Hall, legend. So what season are you on of Dexter?
I'm on season 1, episode 6, I believe. So roughly halfway through the first season.
It's how are you finding it so far?
Yeah, no, I like it. It's good. It's not what I thought it was at all. I thought there would be a lot more killing, but there seems to be a lot more talking about killing. But so far, it's all the supporting cast to do it for me. Like Dexter, Michael C. Hall's wonderful anyway. He is the living embodiment of the show. But I really like all the other people in it that make the show watchable for me. No, I like where it's going. I like how it's about a serial killer who obviously has a moral code in a fucked up way and kills the bad people. So he is a proper Gotham City vigilante if he was set in the Batman universe. But how can you top? And the thing is, I haven't even seen what Dexter's fully capable of. Like each episode sort of has a flashback sequences and sort of hints at things that he's done, like growing up, and his father is the only sort of moral, sane figure, if you like, that kind of understood him and his violent tendencies, as should we say. But I haven't delved enough to fully get exactly who he was before the show. As such, I've got an idea, but it's still early doors at the minute. But then I don't know if season 1's going to end on this big like dun dun dun, and I'm going to change my view on the character, or if it's just going to stay like this the whole time. But either way, I'm digging it. Yeah, I dig it.
Nice. So because you're going into a world that is now, Dexter finished 12 years ago, and there has since
Yeah,
been
there's
one
been more,
sequel.
hasn't there?
There's been one sequel
Yeah.
series. There's currently a prequel series, and there will be another sequel series in later this year.
Yeah,
So
this
it'll be
year, yeah.
interesting to see you coming into it from like something that has like there's more of it. So like, are you going to delve
Hmm.
into all of it?
At this rate, I'd say sure, but again, there's 8 seasons in there of the main show.
You have 96 episodes, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that bad.
Eight
You can say
seasons.
96 doesn't sound that bad, but no, yeah, 8 seasons. Yeah, if they're all 12. I think it's all an even number. There's not one season that's like longer than the rest or whatever. I think they're all roughly the same. So yeah, it's doable for sure.
There's 12 episodes. Yeah, they're all 12 episodes.
Yeah, no, very very doable then. Yeah, yeah. I'll see if I stick the landing. Maybe give me. Oh, with me and my watch along, and like because I like to go back as if I was watching it back in 2007. So I do one season of something at a time, then have a short break, want to miss it, and then want to go back to it because I feel like if I did 8 seasons in a week, then I couldn't tell you what happened in the middle of the show. Like seasons 2, 3, and 4 would be one big blur. But no, like give me like a good 6 months, give me a good 30 episodes, and see how far I get with Dexter. If I've watched it all by then, would I be ready for Dexter? Resurrection. Yeah, I've got it up. Dexter Resurrection. It's the planned 2025 series. Will I be ready for
Yeah.
the Resurrection? Who knows?
It will just be if you get to do Original Sin, a lot of it is from the look of it. It just seems like more Dexter. Just they wanted to do the exact setup and premise of Dexter, just in the past, because they wanted all
Right.
the characters. Because there's a large revolving door of characters. So and there's some really good fan favorites. So the fact that the way because I'm not going to spoil it for you at all. It's a show that I really love. It's one of the first Netflix shows I properly got into and binged from start to finish. I am trying to rewatch it again at the minute, but it's been a while. Yeah, it's so the Original Sin at the minute seems like the flashback stuff and some of the earlier season stuff, just with a younger cast, which is the only sort of annoying thing about it. Because I think that it's well casted. It's just a bit of a annoying thing. Like there's when he talks about his father in hospital and stuff like that, they kind of remake some of those scenes, but with the newer actors, and it's like, oh, this I don't think hits as hard because we've already seen this once.
Exactly. It's not even from another perspective. Is it literally almost shot for shot recreation of stuff?
Well, not
you've
exactly
seen?
shot for shot, but
Or-
near enough the same sort of thing. And I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do like that they commit to the on Original Sin. It looks like they commit to the one of my favorite things about the flashbacks is instead of de-aging or getting someone slightly younger than Michael C. Hall for a young adult or teenage one, they just get Michael C. Hall in a long wig. There's a bit of that in
Brilliant.
Original Sin from the clips I've seen, so they're kind of sticking
Right.
to that truism, which is nice. I would say it's also kind of a shame that that there's more of it coming because
Well, that's the thing. I
it
just
can
thought
both
Dexter was.
spoil and not spoil the ending, if you get my drift, because it kind of at a point it was kind of left in a thing of like, oh, that's the ending, but there's this sort of like tag, and it's like, oh, maybe one day it'll come back if we can sort of do it again, and then it did,
Yeah.
and I don't know many people that have watched New Blood because my mum's a big fan of this as well. We watched it together. I don't think she watched New Blood. It's something I do need to seek out and kind of maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll watch New Blood together and experience New Dexter.
Yes. Yeah,
Only
and then find out the
3.5 years
resurrection.
out of date.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds
But
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good journey, man. I'd say seasons one. It's probably Breaking Bad, like sort of birthed the Netflix generation of like, oh, it's all on streaming, so you got to watch it, and it like shows were dependent on whether they could be bingeable and things like that. Because Breaking Bad
Yeah,
was one of the main shows on Netflix, and everyone all went for that. But this was right up there for me in terms of television shows I've watched of all time. This is up there. The ending for me, it doesn't 100% stick it in some capacities, and I do think that seasons 1 to 4 of this show are some of the best TV you're ever going to watch. And then it kind of
Ooh.
don't know behind the because it's never something I've owned, so I've never looked into like behind the scenes stuff of it, whether there was an original sort of plan of where they wanted to go, or whether they sort of, you know, actually
Mm.
wanted to get to 8 seasons. I don't know, but it was doing well in the ratings and things like that. So it
Well,
ends.
Dexter,
It doesn't overstay as welcome, but it kind of it's not as, I think the back half of it is certainly not as sort of shiny and like, you know, well put together
polished,
as the first half.
not as bloody and gory as
Well, not even that.
No, but I read
Sorry.
yeah. No, I was gonna say, but Dexter is based on novels
Well, the
as well, or at
books,
least
yeah.
this third season is, yeah. But then does 2, 3, and 4 like? Does it do a Game of Thrones? Does it use more material from the novels, or is the first season only novel material and then the rest of it is completely original, or how does that kind of
That's something I
kick into
don't know. I've
place?
always wanted to delve into and read like Darkly Dreaming Dexter and things like that. But it's just something that's never really crossed my mind. It's like, oh yeah, I've watched it, but then like you do forget that it was a book. So it's something
Hmm.
that I do want to actually sit down and read one day. But yeah, I don't know. I generally couldn't tell you whether it's like a Game of Thrones thing of like we've overtaken the book, so we're just deciding what goes on from here.
The original. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think it's sort of like with any show, like the first sort of 3 or 4 episodes are trying to sell you on the premise. By the end of the first
Yeah.
season, you've kind of got a good grip on it. And then it's like,
Hmm.
right now to show you why we're such a unique show. And I think it does that so well for the first 3, 4 years. And then it kind of
Yeah,
almost
like
like
thing.
because
Yeah,
they'd
yeah.
escalated the storylines, then they find themselves trying to, well, we've got to then escalate from there. And then you kind of go into that whole thing and where it leads with the final episode. And you're kind of like,
Hmm.
it generally couldn't have had a ninth season because there would have been like, how much higher do you take it, sort of thing, you know what I mean? But from what
Yeah,
I know of
does
where
it
it
almost
picks up, sorry, Karen.
yeah. No, I was going to say, I was almost going to compare it to Mr. Cruise. Does it end on like a good Mission Impossible Final Reckoning or Dead Reckoning type of like you say, you raising the bar and resolving things and going out on a high? Like, does it sort of, without calling it Mission Impossible, does it end on that kind of intensity? And then, like you say, if there was a ninth season, do you think it could have been like not a where do you go from here, but then how can you top what you've done with it? I mean, Dexter to me isn't Dexter Impossible yet. For all I know, he could be a fucking action badass, Michael C. Hall, but no, I don't get that vibe from what I've seen. Might be an odd comparison, but it does it like yeah, I was trying to think of something that stuck the landing and something that's hyped, and yeah, Mission Impossible
Yeah,
came to mind, but yeah.
I feel like they run out of stories to tell, and they'd kind of got to a point where it's like you can't. There's nowhere to go. Like you're at the highest point. Do you just
Yeah,
then say like, oh, and then he's like on the run from the police or something? Like, does he murder like even more people? Does like like where? Because I can't really say it without
no, of course.
spoiling
No,
anything. But in
no.
terms of the escalates in terms of the effect it has on him and his life and the other characters
Mm.
and things like that, and then you get to a point where it's like there's not really anywhere else like you've kind of reached the end of the line. But I'd like to sort of
Oh,
see where New Blood
yeah.
sort of takes it, especially because that was what, like 8, 9 years after the finale. So that would be interesting to see because it kind of picks up in the place where the show is left. So I'd like to know if like does it feel like any time's passed, or is it like oh, this feels like the character's been in stasis for 9 years and then has sort of just carried
Mm.
on.
And
Very
we don't
interesting.
know anything about this resurrection. Like, I'm guessing this resurrection will obviously follow on from the one you just said, New Blood. Or is New Blood the prequel? I'm getting confused now with the names. Is New Blood the half prequel sequel thing, or is that
New Blood, the 10 episode sequel series from 2021/2022. Um,
Original Sin is the
Original
prequel, right?
Sin is the one in the past,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Resurrection is the yeah. Let's just so Original
It-
Sin. Following on from Dexter New Blood, the series frame story sees serial killer Dexter Morgan thinking back to his youth, 15 years before the
Mhm.
events of the first season of Dexter. Oh, while on his deathbed. That's never been. It's never been a thing. Oh, so this is so
Oh,
future. So future Dexter
he's
is
dead.
thinking back.
He's dead.
He's like,
Yeah.
let me think back to is like when Tom Baker reads the Power of the
Curator
Daleks.
Dexter. Yeah, Curator Dexter.
He goes, I don't remember what age I was, but I remember I liked killing. But the people they've got to play
Yeah.
the young Angel Batista is played by James Martinez, and he looks an awful lot like is it David Reyes, who plays Angel Batista in Normal Dexter.
In the show.
Like they are near
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
like fucking spitted image. That's quite creepy. I mean, the only one that doesn't really look like their counterpart, apart from possibly Dexter, I would say is Deb. But then you're never gonna find. Oh,
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is in this. What else we got?
Whoa, is she?
Yeah. So
God
far,
damn.
there's episode 10 will be out on Valentine's. Is your birthday's the 7th, isn't it? 6th.
Yes.
Ah,
for
so the
those
day after your
listening,
birthday, episode 9 of Original Sin will be out. Okay, so future Dexter does that. Okay, what is the premise? Do we have a premise for why do I keep clicking on the same fucking thing? This is great audio content, like me searching the internet. A sequel series titled Dexter Resurrection picks up after the events of New Blood and frames the story of Original Sin. As announced, with Michael Cera reprising his role as Dexter at San Diego Comic Con in July 26th. In January 2025, David Reyes, James Remar, and Jack Alcott have confirmed as series regulars reprising their roles from the previous shows. So I won't tell you who's who in case you do. Well, Harry died a long time ago, but Harry's still a ghost in his brain. There you go. It's not going to ruin much.
Jesus.
So does this pick up? Does this take us to his deathbed where he starts thinking back to Original Sin, or is does he fight Jesus? Like, where are we going to go with this? Picks up the franchise and pick up from the events of New Blood. What? We're gonna have to watch New Blood.
The highway to hell, the highway to heaven, the highway to hell.
We are going to have to watch Dexter New Blood.
No worries. Sounds like a good day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's some good guest stars in that. Nice. Lovely audio content, but you're watching Dexter, and so far you're on season 1, and Connor will catch us up when he's... I thought you were going to say you finally started watching Skeleton Crew. Oh, I'll be honest, I was a bit excited.
You wanted, out of all things, you wanted me to watch. You'd rather have me watch a Star Wars Disney Plus show than one of your all-time favorite thrillers in the form of Dexter.
But I was like, oh, he's catching up on the Star Wars stuff. But he's
not. Somehow Skeleton Crew returned. Somehow Palpatine returned. That's the image of Star Wars. Yeah. Somehow Din Djarin returned. Somehow Grogu returned. I mean, they will return to us
not in it yet.
next year. But no.
No, I finally. So I've just, the human boy who I couldn't remember his name. His name's Wim. W-I-M.
Wim. Okay. Wim.
W-I-M. And Nick Frost is the voice of SM33 or Smee. Fucking love it. Stephen Fry's in this as the voice of a droid. Alfred Molina is the voice of this guy who's a pirate. I think I've heard his voice already. So far, you'll be glad to know no Mandalorian signs. No signs of the Mandalorian. What date are we on today? Oh, it's finished. Oh, The Real Good Guys episode 8 came out on January 14th. So I'm going to have to... I think I'm two episodes left to watch. I've loved it so far. Will there be a second season? Probably fucking not. Release.
Will it get taken down in a year's time? Maybe.
But if I own the 4K Steelbook, I'll sell it to everyone. I'll make copies. Nothing yet about whether it will get a release. Which is a shame, because I would own this one. I like this one. I'd be more inclined to own this than Ahsoka.
Wow, really? That's big claims.
I mean, I've still not finished Ahsoka, and I've already pre-ordered it. but that's purely because I've
Oh.
started, so I'll finish.
Yeah.
You know my stupid
Mm.
fucking methods. Well, now I'm gonna have to look at the Disney Plus series we've got. Upcoming films, no one cares. Still want that Lando movie, but anyway, animated micro live action series. Aha! So, Book of Boba Fett still has to get released. Andor season 2 will have to get released when that comes out. If there's any justice, they'll release the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, and then that'll be all of them because it's a 2-2-2, isn't it? You get 2 Star Wars steelbooks and 2 Marvel steelbooks.
Justice for the Acolyte. I enjoyed the Acolyte in its dark corner of the Star Wars Disney Plus series stuff. I enjoyed the Acolyte. Undeserved hate.
So this next wave, I've already got my Hawkeye one arrived early. It was meant to arrive like no, it was meant to arrive like 5 days early. It only arrived 2. Because they were like, it's out for delivery, and then it came on the Saturday. But I got the message on the Thursday. So there's Mandalorian and Ahsoka, Hawkeye, and Loki season 2. So you would assume the next wave would be Book of Boba Fett, because then you've kind of got that whole Mandalorian story, the Mandastorian, and the Acolyte.
Wow.
The Acolyte. You should release that because then once Andor season 2 is out, which I think is this year. This year, Andor season 2.
Let's just go with yes. I'll double check, but yes, I want to say yes.
Because then,
second and final season is scheduled to premiere on April 22nd, 2025.
yeah, so then that gives enough time to do Andor season 2 and Skeleton Crew for the next wave. And then,
But the second season of Andor will take place over 4 years.
There's a time jump every couple of episodes, isn't there? And Orson Krennic is back. Hashtag 2 kills as Krennic.
Yeah, 2 kills of Krennic. Yeah, yeah.
I know. Yeah. Star Wars, eh? Because I've been going through my I love a list. So I've been going through my film and television collections. So where is it? So I made a list. So I've written down like loads of films, and then I've ticked off the ones I have. Purely, I've forgotten loads of them, to be fair. But out of the ones I've got, and then I basically did like all the MCU films, the DC stuff. I think I wrote down most of the Pixar stuff. I don't remember. And James Bond, obviously, those kind of things. So, would you like to know what I own now, as of 21st of January, 2025?
Sure. Is there any reason why you're telling me what you have? Is this because of a possible idea that was arranged off screen?
No. So basically, just because where I had like vouchers and stuff for Christmas, then I filled in some gaps on my Marvel stuff. And there's a certain steelbook that I'd missed out on that I had to then buy second hand for like 60 quid, but it's okay because I used a voucher. And I did buy some TV stuff. So TV stuff I found a copy of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which is apparently it's region A, but all the comments and stuff and feedback is saying it's a multi-region, it's a region-free Blu-ray copy of the whole show.
So you can play. Yeah, you can play
which is good. I didn't even write down the Netflix Daredevil and stuff like that. I need to fucking write down at some point. So I've got 300 Rise of an Empire. So I've got numbers, and then I'm doing in my OCD way. It's ABC, but I'm you don't count because the is just a fucking add-on. Like it's always stuff with the it doesn't count. So I've got Amazing Spider-Man 1, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers 1, 2, 3, 4, Baby Driver, Back to the Future trilogy, Birdman, Birds of Prey, Black Klansman, Black Panther 1, Bohemian Rhapsody, Candyman, which you got me, Captain America trilogy, Captain Marvel is the new one I bought. That was £6. Best £6 I've ever spent. Cars trilogy. What one?
No, I said Captain Marvel cheaper than blockbusters.
Yeah,
there
you go. Very nice. The Cars trilogy. I got that from Zavi on the I did the 5 for £30. In reality, I should have got Big Hero 6 and all them other ones and done 10 for 50. But what are you gonna do? Casino Royale, Creed 2, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Deadpool 1, and now Deadpool 2 because I've got a copy of that. Detective Pikachu, Die Another Day, Disaster Artist, Doctor Strange, Drive, Edge of Tomorrow, or Live Die Repeat if you're going to be an arsehole. Eternals, Fantastic Beasts, and Where to Fuck Them. I mean find them. Fantastic Four 1 and 2, the Tim Story ones. Gentleman, Ghost Rider 1, Gladiator 1, GoldenEye, Good Dinosaur, Guardians 1 and 2, Hot Fuzz, Hulk, Hunger Games 1 and 2 for some fucking reason. I'll probably get rid of them. In-Betweeners movie, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man trilogy, Jaws, The Judge. Last Night in Soho I don't own. I've written that down. Need to fucking buy that. Limitless. Jeez, I've wrote down all the Mission Impossibles because I do need to buy them as well. Nice Guys, No Time to Die, Princess and the Frog, Quantum of Solace, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Rocket Man, Shazam, Skyfall, Spectre, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, Into the Spider-Verse, and I can now tick Across the Spider-Verse because that's the second-hand steelbook I got. Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad, sorry, not the 2016 one. Super Mario Brothers movie, Thor Ragnarok, Tomorrow Never Dies, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, War for the Planet of the Apes, The World Is Not Enough, and that is it. I've not kept count.
There are some gaps where I didn't think there would be gaps. I'm surprised. I'm a little yeah.
What are you surprised at?
No, just some of the. I mean, Disney outright. I own some of the Pixar ones, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of the ones you mentioned, I have in my mess of a cupboard. But then there's I'm surprised. Last Night in Soho, you don't. Yeah, you bang on about that more than me. You don't have it, or you haven't got it yet. But
I haven't got it yet. There was a steelbook of it not long ago, but didn't have the funds. I've written down like all the X-Men films because I did have I had like near enough all the MCU films up to a certain point on Blu-ray along with X-Men and stuff like that. But one of my mates, literally, it was like 30 odd Blu-rays for £100, and he just took them all because I was upgrading at the time. Excuse me, still haven't finished. So I've written down stuff like I've written all the DCU stuff down because we still want to do that video with Mike where we talk about what the fuck went wrong there. I've written down Watchmen.
So Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad. They were the only two that I recall.
Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, Shazam.
Oh, and Shazam. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, knowing you makes sense. But yeah.
But then, like some of them, so I've added them all to my like save for later on Amazon. But some of them are outright like not being sold, like not even by like, some of them are dispatched and sold by Amazon, but then some are Amazon dispatch them, but they're sold by other things. So like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, I don't think was on there. Black Adam wasn't, and neither Shazam 2. So I'll have to get them from Zavi at some point. Just trying to find all these things, but I'm trying to fill in some MCU gaps. That's the main thing. I do want to get the Raimi trilogy, whether that be a box set one or, singly. I'm not fussed. I've written down like the Punishers. I've written down the Paddington trilogy.
Paddington.
I've even written down Never Say Never Again along with the rest of the James Bonds.
I mean, so yeah, I don't have the non-MGM like those two non-canon ones, but yeah.
Should we do like a wish list, and then when we stream, people can buy us stuff from our wish list, and we can review it?
Yeah, it sounds great actually.
A Man Called Otto, Craven the Hunter, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Obviously, got to own now.
Yeah, Kingdom. I don't have. That's the last year's one. I still don't have that.
No, I don't have that yet. Green Lantern, Guardians 3, Ghost Rider. The Founder for a film that's one of my favorite films of all time. It's still not got a 4K release. It's still only got a Blu-ray release. So I'll just have to just bite the bullet on that one. Elektra, Deadpool, Wolverine, obviously. The rest of the Creeds, Constantine, Dark Knight trilogy.
That's not coming with us. Constantine, I think, is out like next month on 4K, or that might be a Valentine's Day release or something stupid. But yeah,
Black Widow, Blade, Black Adam, all of the Batman film. Oh, I didn't even tick the Batman. I do have that. Yeah, Batman the movie, 66, Batman 89, and the rest of the Schumacher Tim Burton verse I don't have. Batman v Superman Dawn of Jaundice, no. None of the Aquamans. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, that's going to be a hard one to want to buy. But, And 1917, need to get that. So if there's any other films that you, Connor, think I should have in my list, the things that you think I've forgotten because you know that I bang on about them so much, or other films where you're like, oh, you should be watching this or this, maybe we can do it. So this is going to be the start of Film Club, and we're going to go through, and me and you, one by one, we're going to own and watch all of these films, and then more. We'll keep adding. People in the comments, keep adding films.
Yeah, we got to keep adding. Yeah,
there we go. But in terms of that, we did have a lovely trailer. If we're going to talk about, it's a superhero that's red, but not with your natural red glowing skin. On March the 4th.
Sorry, Disney, don't sue me for that. I mean, Mickey Mouse, the horror movie. No, I don't think they had a trailer. I had a stupid image. Sorry, that was a bad pun.
Not yet. Daredevil Born Again got a trailer.
Oh, that was fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
March the 4th release date confirmed. We are so back. This is basically Daredevil season 4. It's set a few years after, and it just looks fucking good. I mean, you sent the link to me when it dropped because I saw the post like 7 p.m. Central Time or whatever it was, and man,
I was just fortunate to open my phone at that moment. I just opened my phone at the exact moment. I thought, oh, the world's going to explode. Yeah, literally, I dropped everything in that moment and I absorbed and rinsed the trailer again and again and again. It's fucking accurate. It is season 4. There's no Disney Plus corporate legal reimagining bullshit. It is literally just the follow-up to the beloved show from the 2010s. And if you've honestly not watched Daredevil, there's a theme with TV shows beginning with D's in this episode. But if you've not watched Daredevil, then you're doing something wrong. If you're going to commit to one MCU TV show, then this is the one, right?
Oh, definitely. It's one of my favorite bits of television, let alone superhero TV shows. Season 2, the weakest one of the 3 so far, but I fucking loved the start of this universe. Like, it was so good when it's like, oh, we're gonna have like our own mini Avengers universe. So Justice fucking, when you get the steelbook release of Daredevil season 4 reboot, I want them to go out there and think, you know what? Why don't we actually release season 3 on normal Blu-ray and 4K maybe, and then complete the other one? So then, or just do a box set of the MCU Netflix stuff. Obviously, don't call it that, but like redistribute it so that we can finish our collection.
Because chances are, like knowing these waves and stuff of releases, like we mentioned earlier, they probably will, like annoying as it is, they probably will re-release seasons 1 and 2 on Steelbook. I can see that happening. They'll probably will just bring them out individually in waves.
Yeah. But hopefully this is a chance for them to look at, maybe we'll do standard releases because more people will buy it because they've been clamoring after this shit since 2018. You know what I mean? Like if they come out and went, look, we're redistributing like all the Netflix, we're basically re-releasing everything, like including the stuff that never got a Blu-ray release. So you get your Daredevil season 3, Jessica Jones 2, both seasons of The Punisher, I don't think were ever released. You get an actual release of The Defenders. Like, do it all. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this show, man. I love Charlie Cox. Bullseye's back. We never really sort of spoke about that enough because I don't think that was a main draw when they were talking about making the show, because I know they did it, scrapped a load of it, and then they've gone back to, oh no, this is more of a season 4 than a completely new show kind of thing. So there's been some changes, but to see he plays bloody, what's his name? Bullseye.
Wilson Bethel.
Wilson Bethel. He's back. We got Deborah Ann Wall. We got fucking, what's his name? Eldon Henson,
Eldon Henson, yeah, Mighty Ducks.
absolute legends. I can't wait to see them again. If either of them get killed, I'm going to be so sad.
Go- In the show, right? You're not talking about anywhere else.
Yeah, just in the show. Yeah, I'm not talking.
Yeah,
Not talking
just
about
in the
in
show.
general. Like if they're actually, that'd be terrible.
That would be even worse. Yeah, no. You
But
know,
no, this does look
yeah,
great.
if Foggy goes, rewrite. If Foggy and Nelson gets shut down, rewrite it. Along with Avengers Tower, rewrite it.
That is, yeah. Um, are you a silly question? But are you going to be watching on day one of release for this?
No, I'm going to wait a week later, and I'm going to get your review. I'm going to get your thoughts, and you're going to tell me and the audience about how much better it is than the Netflix run. No, I'll be watching it ideally the minute I'm either out of work that day, or if it's on a day off, then huzzah, it'd be even better. But then, like I say, 8 weeks, 7 weeks by the time this comes out, left for people again to play catch up. And if you've not again delved into the wonderful show that was Daredevil, then yeah,
Yeah,
this
please
is
catch up.
absolutely the time to get into it. And yeah, you will not regret it, because I feel like I've dabbled in Daredevil over the last like 12 months, but then I can't exactly remember where I got up to, and I know I was nowhere near the end. But I absolutely will amend that and watch it in preparation for season 4.
Will you
Yeah,
just watch Daredevil, or will you do the whole Marvel Netflix stuff?
no, I mean unless Born Again is literally going to be the rebirth of that era, and they are going to go bigger and better than just the legal lawyer of Hell's Kitchen, then maybe. But no, at this point with the time and budget we and the show have, we're going to just have to focus on the main property that is Charlie's Daredevil Cox. Sorry, typo. Don't sue
It's
me.
Daredevil cock. There's your soundbite, everyone.
Yeah, big up Charlie.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but that's one way to look at it. But then obviously, like John Bernthal's back, so like, are you tempted
And then and Johnny
to at
boy,
least watch The Punisher?
Yes, yeah, him and Punisher were the two that, if, as we said, over the many years we've done this, like if they were going to only bring those couple people back, then I'm just glad John Bernthal's back as well. He's going to be just like, iconic, just to see them
Frank,
pair up together again. Yeah,
it's me. Someone said like it does look like that is the look of a man who survived the blip and has had to live with the guilt ever since. Which is going to be nice to see
damn.
how the actual
Mm.
MCU like events have affected these like
Those,
smaller things.
yeah, these people. Yeah, yeah.
Because we're assuming
Maybe
Daredevil
like,
lived through it,
yeah.
and Kingpin was snapped away and lost a lot of his territory.
And
That's like
Vanessa.
why he is where he is in Hawkeye. Maybe no, I'm guessing Vanessa. I don't know. Maybe Vanessa would have stuck around. Hopefully, we'll find. It's not a necessity for us to find out these things, but I'd sort of like to
No,
know
of course.
where they were
Yeah.
at in
What's
relation
happened
to
in
these
5 years?
events.
Like for those, yeah, for what's happened in 5 years. Plus, whenever Daredevil season 3 was set in the timeline of the MCU, and then how long Hawkeye was set after that season, and then how long Born Again is set after Hawkeye. Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. We want to know something. Again, don't make it the focus, guys. We just want to know something for all the timeline enthusiasts and nerds like us. We want something.
Yeah, we've waited long enough. Like it's been
Yeah.
a long 7 years since this show ended, so we
Yeah.
need to enjoy every second of it. So I mean, because me and Lyle got to the end of season 1 of it, like we're enjoying it and didn't finish it. So that's our aim, is to rewatch it for March to
Preparation.
be ready for the new season. At least Daredevil, because at least
Exactly. At
Punisher
least
gets
Daredevil.
introduced
Yeah,
in
at least
season 2.
Daredevil.
So
Yeah. Yeah, can't wait for Daredevil. Goddamn. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
yeah. Have you actually been to the cinema, old chap, and seen any films?
I saw a person on the screen, and let's say I saw a lot of this individual, and I'll never see her in the same way ever again. No,
Oh dear.
I'm talking about Nicole Kidman. Have you seen the film I'm talking about advertised at all, George? Or any idea
Uh,
what I'm on about? Nicole Kidman in an acting gig in
I've seen
2025,
Nicole
not let
Kidman.
alone
She's in a thing. What thing is she
she is
in?
nothing. you can say she's a baby girl. That's the name of the film, Baby Girl. With Harris Dickinson, who is the chap from. He isn't from 1917. Who is Harris Dickinson from? He is or was. He was Prince Philip in Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I haven't seen it,
Oh,
but
of
there you
course.
go. King's Man, Conrad from King's Man. He was in See How They Run. He was Richard Attenborough. Rare the Crawdads See. That's a book that someone. He was in the Iron Claw. He was one of the Von Erichs. I didn't recognize him as one of them. Like one of the big up wrestling film that we we spoke a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
He was
man.
in the Iron
Love
Claw.
the Iron Claw.
Yeah. I thought he was in a TV show though. Maybe I am getting mixed up with Finn or Joe Cole. But regardless, Harris Dickinson, Joe Cole, Finn Cole, those three have the same rough face and features. So, yeah, I think I've probably meshed those three together into one being. But Harris, nonetheless, is Nicole Kidman's boy toy, let's just say. Nicole Kidman's a CEO of her fashion company, and Harris Dickinson is an intern. And Puss in Boots, Antonio Banderas is her husband at home. She's got a family, but then good old Harris is playing homewrecker, and they have a dodgy affair. Dodgy. They just have a naughty affair, almost 50 Shades style. Yeah. If you've genuinely not seen it advertised, George, I'm surprised, because I thought the adverts have been on YouTube lately for me as well. So I'm surprised you've not caught wind of it or seen any of Nicole Kidman, because I feel like it's been everywhere. I said, what do you think about Nicole Kidman, George?
Yeah, you cut out for a little while. There was a good minute and a half.
I
where
cut
it was
out.
silent.
God damn it! Oh, where did I cut out till? Where did you hear?
I'm surprised you haven't seen it advertised.
Yeah, no, Baby Girl. I feel like it's been all over YouTube, and yeah, I'm surprised you just haven't seen it advertised. I didn't say that much afterwards.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, it's something I'm happy to check out. So, yeah, I'll put it on the list, as Captain America would say. But is there? So you've been catching up on Dexter. You've seen Baby Girl.
Yeah.
Is there anything besides the fucking sworn in of President Trump that you've seen? Let's
something
not talk about that.
Something that I'd discussed. I think not when I saw you, but even when we recorded last year. I mean, it feels a bit weird saying that. Was a certain organization, literally at least nearly 10 weeks ago, ish, 9, 8, something like that, weeks ago. A certain organization, a certain entertainment product has, I sort of mentioned it, it sort of shut down its own subscription service and has moved on to, again, Netflix. That's just the trend. It's moved to Netflix. You liked hearing the docudrama story about a certain owner of a certain wrestling entertainment company and how New Year's Day the switch was flipped and now all the WWE on Netflix. And yeah, I don't know if you have booted it up on Netflix and seen shit ton of wrestling on there, or I don't know if it's top 10 in the UK. I think when the first episodes of Raw came out, I think it had charted into the top 10 territory. But yeah, just a crap ton of WWE on Netflix. That's a lot of stuff I've watched in my little spare time lately. Oh no. And because of that, I think the wrestling got to him. The curse of Owen Hart has affected George. Oh, God damn it. God damn it.
Hello. Fucking internet.
Hello.
That's internet in 2025. Stretch goal.
The curse of Owen Hart got you. Did you hear everything I said, or did you?
I know that you started talking about. I'm assuming WWE coming to Netflix because that started
New Year's Day.
Not long after. Was it New Year's Day?
It was the switch was flipped because essentially, the little bit of time I had during Christmas 2024, I was just watching the last few days of the WWE Network, and in the preparation to Netflix, the few articles I read was like, oh, not so much archival content will be on there, very few select shows, blah, 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 blah. Like, basically, it's going to be like a beta version of that app. So I was devastated to hear the network was going, and most of December was trying to catch up on shit I should have watched over the last decade. But that's besides the point, because Netflix flipped the switch in day one, and I'm surprised by the crap ton of content you can find on Netflix now. There are gaps, there are things to be added for sure, but I hope, like, unlike most of Netflix and most of these apps, I hope it is on like a 6-month rotation where they'll let you advertise, or they'll advertise like the Royal Rumble events, and then when you get up to whatever month the deal runs out, and then they'll disappear in order to put something else on there. I feel like it's that sort of deal where once content's uploaded, then there are plans to add more things to the platform, but to add more things to Netflix. But I'm hoping that it isn't going to be a swaply rotation type thing, if you get what I mean. Like, you'll watch one show one day and then you'll go to watch it a week later and be like, oh, I can't now. But hopefully that doesn't affect the world wrestling entertainment that is WWE, because they've been doing good stuff since the switch. Viewers and figures and numbers and stock, and yeah, big up Hunter Hearst Helmsley, you legend. Triple H,
Nice.
in other words.
So, because there's live stuff
Yes.
on there as well, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah. Every Monday night, every Friday night, and every Tuesday night, you can watch your weekly episodes of Raw, NXT, and Friday night SmackDown. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But you can also watch a crap ton of old pay-per-views, monthly events, if you like, where even if you wanted to do like a binge of the late 2000s, you probably can, except there's just the odd monthly gap in pay-per-view where they haven't uploaded it to Netflix yet, but they are coming in February and March. So by March, you can then do a full 12-month binge of monthly pay-per-views, for example. But I'm surprised because, again, the preparation seemed like very little was coming to Netflix, but then, again, booting it up New Year's Day, I was kind of gobsmacked and honestly was just navigating for hours just by what was on there. So if you've got nothing to do, if you're bored of the average Netflix spiel, then I implore people to check something out with John Cena's big muscular pecs on it, because it's worth a watch. Maybe, if you're into that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's because it's been Raw. Has Raw been on a few times?
Yeah.
And,
So literally,
SmackDown.
yeah. So Raw, SmackDown. I think this week, as of recording, I think it's the third week. So like episode 3 of those shows are out. Yeah. By the time this comes out, like on the Friday or Saturday, it might be episode 4 of SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown or whatever. But yeah. So that's the thing. Since the move to Netflix, and for the first time probably like in forever, I'm actually watching the product weekly, but not just watching the monthly pay-per-views. Like, I'm actually watching Raw when it comes out, I'm watching NXT when it comes out, I'm watching SmackDown when it comes out. I've never used Netflix as much as I have in this last month, and it's because of silly wrestling. Which sounds ridiculous, but
So is the app completely gone now?
defunct, void, no more. Yeah, it's gone. I think the last territory I think that will have it, I think it's somewhere like the Philippines, because again they've just got licensing deals out there. So I think literally somewhere in the Caribbean or the Philippines is like the last territory to have the network up until I think around Easter time, and then I think the switch for Netflix to for them will happen. So yeah.
So because did you have to pay for the app and the membership?
yeah, separately, but then with the whole move to Netflix, there's, again, as far as I'm aware, there's no additional cost. It's all just with your Netflix membership. There's no separate tier. There's no bonus. You just load up your Netflix and all of it's on there. So there's no additional cost now. You save a £10 every month, or $9.99 as the famous marketing slogan for the network was in America. So, well, $9.99, roughly 10 quid over here.
So did it refund anything? Or did they just be like, oh, we're cancelling your payments, everything's shut down?
Oh, so I think the last payment was around November time. So the last month was November, but then they extended it till like New Year's Day this year. So really, we got the last month free, if you like.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, honestly, big up WWE on Netflix, because again, so few content in my head was going to be on there, but then when I again booted it up, and I still look at it now, and I'm like, oh, I'm surprised this is on here. The one-off shows that were done in the 90s, and I'm like, how is that on there? Yet so and so from this year is missing, and whatever. But that's me just being OCD nitpicky. I'm just amazed by how one-off independent, one-off shows are on there, but then you've got like the big 4 quarterly pay-per-views where most of them are on there, but then when it comes to Survivor Series, basically the full big super show in November, you've got certain years, I believe from like 2010 up until 2022 missing at the minute, but then no doubt that will get uploaded by, I like to say, by February. And then they've left in the coming soon bit like what shows are currently missing, and then it will say coming in February, coming in March. There's no content I'm aware of coming in April, but they've still got to add a lot of Monday Night Raw. They've got to add a lot of the old Monday Night SmackDown. They've got to add a lot of the old content. But these things take time. The WWE Network launch over here wasn't everything you can watch from day one. That took a good couple years to get everything all up in the system. So as long as Netflix don't be dicks and remove things sneakily every couple of months, then, we'll be fine. And it will be exposed to so many more viewers, and they'll do well as a fucking business because they have.
How do you think it will do in terms of like Netflix's live stuff hasn't necessarily ever got the best reviews? Do you think that it will work well? Because obviously the following will be there for people to want to watch it live. So will this sort of be like a straight translate over in terms of viewership, or do you think people will take time to sort of come around to watching it live on Netflix?
I have no idea how the live ratings and figures will look. I mean, without even reading into what it's like in America and viewing figures on Peacock and live terrestrial TV, and for years I think over here was on Sky Sports previously. I think it still is, from as far as I'm aware, but that side of things I've no real clue about. I'm not saying everyone will be up at 1 o'clock every Monday morning, every Friday morning, every Tuesday morning to be up to watch stuff over here. Like, I mean, I'm only talking about the UK when I say this, but certainly once it's stopped being live and you watch it hopefully within like the 24-hour figures, then I'd like to think it will do decently, even if people just go, oh, what's this, without even realizing what they're clicking on.
Yeah. Do you think it will draw more fans in as well? Like the casual Netflix subscribers might think, oh, this is a pretty big get. So, like, I'll check out some WWE stuff.
Even like a couple misclicks, where it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, and they might go, this thing, but then you might get past the first 5 minutes, and you might be like, oh, there's something here. No, I just know the network number, like the WWE app numbers, were relatively low, whereas obviously Netflix is, in the words of The Rock, exposed to millions and millions of their fans. So from a business point of view, they've literally gone from like 1,000 to 2,000 people on their app to 10 times, triple times, 20 times, 30 times the figures they would have ever got with their own service. So if they were going to go with any app, let's say Netflix really is the one. Rival competition known as AEW, like All Elite Wrestling, they've partnered with HBO Max. So if not Netflix, then I would have said WWE would have gone with HBO Max. But then I think AEW beat them to that deal first. So I imagine that relatively smaller, newer company is doing okay for an app that's pretty exposed worldwide. But again, not in the UK yet. HBO for us is still Now TV / Sky Atlantic. Whether that will change over here will be another thing. But business is good for wrestling in terms of streaming. But then who's to say how long this will last? I don't know.
Yeah, all interesting stuff. Is there anything coming up in the next week or so that you're definitely looking to see, and like we can talk about on here? Like any films that you're like, yeah, that's definitely going to be on the list.
The list, as in like planning 2025 list already.
Well, yeah, like
said,
just for
I
this
said,
month. So for the rest of this month, is there anything you're planning to see in the next couple of weeks?
I mean, I praised the fuck out of Nosferatu, the Count Dracula German vampire like horror from a couple of weeks ago. So if we can re-emerge horror in January, how about I'm gonna try the Wolfman and see if that's any good at all, or if that's just mediocrely average.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard
yeah,
good things.
Wolfman. Yeah, I've heard good things. Wolfman. I still need to see We Live in Time. Just yeah,
Same.
We Live in Time. Oh, the Bob Dylan, Timothy Chalamet biography drama. I don't know if it's a musical or such, or if it's just going to be a I'm Timmy and this is my life type of movie, or if this is going to be I'm Bob Dylan and this is how I think. My name's Timmy and I good it is, or whatever. Like you can sound clip that. I don't know if it's going to be a Rocket Man and Better Man, or if it's just going to be my name's Bob, James
Well,
Bob.
we don't know whether it's going to be a complete unknown.
Yeah. Something that's happening in February. I mean, not. I mean, I'm not mad about the boy, as they would say, but again, like to go with your profile picture, Bridget Jones. That's next month, I think. That is Valentine's Day, I'm sure.
Valentine's Day, yeah. Like these two films, ironically, come out on Valentine's Day. This is the double bill that
Yeah, even
everyone
Brave New
wants.
World, yeah.
Move over,
Yeah.
Barbenheimer. Welcome, Captain Jones, brave new
Captain
boy.
Brave New Boy.
Or
Captain
Bridget America, mad
Bridget
about
America.
the world.
Mad about the Brave New World.
Brave about
Jesus.
the mad world. There you go.
Oh no. Well, that's February cancelled. No.
It's going to be the Barbenheimer of its day.
Yeah. But then after that, oh, literally, I'm on the Cineworld website. Stephen horror film from last year, which I think I did shout out in our best of list. So brief spoiler for that. Horror film called Longlegs, directed by Osgood Perkins. He's now moved on from
That's now
indie
on
horror
Prime.
to Stephen King horror. He's doing the form of The Monkey, which is a short story that's now been expanded to obviously full length thing. And Theo James and Elijah Wood are the main two leads in it, and it is about a toy monkey. But that, anything Stephen King, I'm there.
True. The thing with King is that it's always a thing.
It is always a thing.
But anyway, that is a nice sort of almost short and sweet episode as we prepare for the two gargantuan releases of Valentine's Day. So prepare for Bridget America, Captain Jones, mad about America. She's not the only one.
Brave New America. Brave New TikTok band America. Way.
Have you seen any of the Bridget Jones films?
So, to plug up my mum. No, I got dragged to the last one back in 2016. No, I got dragged. Yep. So, yeah, I didn't go.
They're enjoyable. The first two are very.
No, I didn't outright hate it. No, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I like the new one.
I've seen the covers for years, so I feel like I've seen it all my life. But I know I'm sure I haven't seen Bridget 1 and 2. I just remember going to the Edge of Reason was the third one, right? Is it?
No, Edge of Reason's the second one. Edge of Reason 2004, man.
What's the third one called? Oh, fine, yeah, Bridget Jones' Baby, yeah, fine, yes. I went into the Bridget Jones' Baby and I thought, good lord, but no, I didn't outright hate it. I would watch it again. As a male viewer, there's no particular solo desire to go back and watch that. But then if I'm with the right crowd, and I wouldn't say no to it, like I say, that'll be mum's thing next month. So who knows? I might get dragged along, or I might
40x Bridget Jones. Front row.
front row. 40x. 40x.
You can smell Hugh Grant. Because Hugh Grant's back in the fourth one, and now Colin Firth's dead. Apparently.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there's a bit, it's like, oh, you need to get over him now. You're a widow, Bridget, and it's like, but the whole point of the third one is that she finally found love with Colin Firth, and then we've killed Colin Firth. Now you've got Hugh Grant in it, and she's not even going to fuck Hugh Grant again. What's the point? I'm so confused.
Oh, well,
But Chiwetel Ejiofor's in it, and if there's one thing we know, is that sexy man can do whatever he wants, just as long as it's not being a Marvel movie that makes sense.
Yes, both times. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
too many sorcerers.
Too many Bridget Joneses of America. Connor, where can the good people find us, as they already have today?
So yeah, obviously YouTube. Well done, big grats. Leave a little like, leave a little cheeky comment. It goes a long way, and hit the share button, please. That will help us out. We post content on TikTok occasionally. You can find us on Blue Sky. Every time I hear Blue Sky, I want to say Blue Sky Studios because that's the company, isn't it? I don't want to say just Blue Sky. It feels incomplete. But you can find us on Blue Sky, the better form of X, aka Elon Musk free Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can send us your suggestions, movie club watch-alongs, general opinions, favorite cosplays at nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. You can even send us your impressions of things. I wouldn't mind giving random things a listen. If you want to impersonate Matt Berry, then by all means send all those over at nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. Streaming stuff to come. Twitch accounts will eventually be below, along with Xbox Live gamer tags, PlayStation Network pins, maybe even a Steam Deck, Steam ID. I don't know in the future, but that's all TBC. I think that's all from me. I think I've nailed it. Back to Georgie G.
Oh, thanks, man. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, share if you've not done so already. Shoot your emails over, like Connor said. Do follow us, and we'll see you next week for more. Please get in touch.
Otherwise, I'll call Dexter on you if you don't.
That breakfast always looks delicious and sexually violent, like Bridget Jones and Colin Firth's ghost.
Brilliant.
I'm a ghost, Bridget. I'm the ghost of sexual past. Now you do the voice of Harrison Ford as an angry red man.
I
hate
Hulk smash. I hate it, Dark Destiny. And goddamn Jar Jar.
I don't give a fuck. I'm full of weed and airplanes.